Listen, obviously fodder for late night, but this is deadly serious. When you think about what happened with the insurrection, people dying, you think about what it means for our democracy, you think about what it means for the First Amendment, you think about what it means for jobs that are protected under the First Amendment, the freedom of the press, not red or blue, it's green. That's from Rupert Murdoch's bombshell deposition before lawyers for Dominion Voting Systems, a billionaire owner of Fox News, making it very clear money was a factor in letting false claims of election fraud populate his airwaves. Dominion is suing the network for defamation and is seeking $1.6 billion in damages.
If you read these documents, what comes across blisteringly clear is that Fox management thought that the competing issues here had nothing really to do with serious journalism and telling the truth. They had to do with holding on to an audience, even if that cost them their integrity and their reputation for as telling the truth to their own audience, because they created kind of a monster with their own audience that they were then terrified of.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and the former Fox contributor Jonah Goldberg turned the tables on Rupert Murdoch during a Wednesday appearance on CNN this morning. Goldberg, who worked at Fox for 12 years, was a respected voice on the channel, but eventually distanced himself from the network following their slide into becoming a propaganda channel.
If you look across the history of Fox, and this is interesting because people talk about losing, will it ever be known as a news channel again? Has it lost its right to be called a news channel? Fox never was a news channel. It was founded in 1996 by a media political operative, Roger Ailes, as a political operation.
It's reported that he left in possible protest of Tucker Carlson's faux documentary that suggested January 6 was a false flag operation. The problem at Fox, Goldberg said, was that the opinion side was allowed to run free. No facts, no journalism, just opinion became the mission. Goldberg blamed this on the weak leadership of Fox CEO Susan Scott, whom he claimed bowed to the will of the monster that she helped create.
Fox was founded as essentially a propaganda network for conservative viewpoints. And at the time, Ailes may have been right. You certainly could have that voice on mainstream media, except Fox became so powerful, it became the dominant voice. And as the Republican Party and conservatism moved way to the right, especially in the last decade or so, Fox went with it. And that was their core audience, and that's how they made money.
I think the problem that happened at Fox was that the opinion side was allowed to run free. Everyone likes to think that this was some grand policy, the transformation of Fox set from above. It was really the lack of leadership under Susan Scott, the CEO, to rein in, curtail, discipline the primetime people in any way, to the point where the opinion side basically became the dog wagging the tail instead of the other way around.
Goldberg was one of the very few voices on Fox that was calling out Donald Trump's deranged antics at the end of the 2020 election. During the CNN interview, he acknowledged problems with modern media and blasted Fox for letting the opinion side of the channel become the basis for their news stories. Goldberg recalled how Fox quickly deteriorated into a trash TV outlet with viewers wanting bigger and bigger lies. They developed a following of rabid supporters who demanded confrontations and insanity. This very viewership is what is coming back to bite them. Despite admitting that Trump lost, Rupert Murdoch and Fox pushed the ex-president's claim of a stolen election, and it was up to CEO Susan Scott to make sure that Republican election conspiracies were supported by Fox News. They all knew that Trump's stolen election claims were nonsense, but they chose to keep pushing it because of the fear of their deranged viewership. Jonah Goldberg then brought up a Chinese expression about riding the tiger. You can't get off because you're afraid it's going to eat you. And if you think about that, that's the exact situation that Fox is in. Will Fox get eaten by the tiger? We are all hoping that justice will be served to that liars at Fox. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.